Okay, almost there, guys.
Well, I claim it because my grandma lived in Ennis, and every summer as a boy we'd drive down from Michigan to visit grandma, and just fell in love with that little Mayberry RFD town. And so I was working in Minneapolis where that blooper happened, and my wife and I just fell in love with the name Dallas. We liked the TV show. And so I named my son Dallas, and then like 2 weeks later we get the job in Dallas. And so the joke at the TV station was, man, thank God he didn't get a job in Scranton. So.
I'm from Flint, Michigan too.
Oh,
Michigan,
no kidding. Yeah, I grew up
my
in.
immediate family's up there. Blue collar, GM plant.
No kidding, yeah. I covered some GM stuff in Flint. I was a reporter in Lansing, so I grew up in Detroit, reporter in Lansing, and I remember there was seems like there was a big Flint strike. I mean, every few years.
They did a documentary on it.
Is that the Michael Moore thing?
Yeah,
Roger
and me,
yeah.
When did you move to Texas?
When I was young, I was in elementary school, but like all my immediate family, they're all GM. Everybody.
Yeah, what
It's beautiful up there.
it is. So the dream in Michigan, how I like in Texas and Michigan is so blue collar that the biggest you can dream is get a job with the auto company and not get fired for 40 years, right? Here it's like how big a house do you want? How big a plane do you want? Do you really want one plane or do you need two?
Sky's the limit,
Exactly.
Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to be talking about giving back to the community with two people who are showing us the way. That's just ahead.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Welcome to my show. Well, I've always believed that if you are going to do business, especially in the year 2021, and you want to attract the next generation of leaders, you really have to give back to the community. It can't be all about the almighty dollar. And to talk about that today, Erik Tomlinson, he's a loan officer with Supreme Lending, and Melissa Avara, she is a real estate agent with the Melissa Avara Realty Group. Thank you for being on the show.
Hey,
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's start with you, Melissa. Because you have a program that is called Coffee for Cops.
Yes.
Now tell us about that.
So I kind of started all of this when there was the mass shooting in downtown Dallas in 2016. I had a few friends that were police officers, and it really just struck me. Bad things happen everywhere, but this just really hit home for me. Because it was in our backyard and it was our people, and I just really got me thinking about the jobs that these law enforcement people have and how hard it really is, not just physically, but emotionally, takes a toll on them. And I just kind of racked my brain for a while thinking there had to be a way for us as a community to do something to make them feel appreciated, just to brighten their day. And I did a little research. I talked to some, local police chiefs, and I found out that a lot of departments don't have a budget for coffee. And then when I went into some of the stations and I'd see their gallon, coffee maker, and the coffee sits there and burns and they still drink it, I thought, oh no, there has to be a better way. And so I started Coffee for Cops. And so what I do is I try to donate coffee to local stations as often as I can. My goal is monthly, but COVID has had different plans for the year and not letting me go in as many stations as I want. But it's amazing just how much feedback I've gotten back from police, thanking us for doing that. Just
Yes, you've been featured in the media. Let's go ahead and put up on the screen the article in, I think it was the McKinney paper, talking about this program. It's wonderful. What's been the response so far?
It's been really great. I mean, I've tried to partner up with a lot of local, community businesses, and what was just up was Market Street and Allen. They were fabulous to me. They kind of surprised me with the fundraiser that they have a softball fundraiser, and they took all the proceeds and just bought coffee and donated 500 pounds of coffee to the organization. And that's awesome. It doesn't just have to be monetary. People can donate coffee. There's lots of ways that people in the community can help, and they don't have to give much to make a difference.
That's beautiful. Eric, let's get you in on the conversation because you're passionate about a program called the Heroes Loan Program. Talk about that.
So the Heroes program kind of aligns with Melissa's initiative, and I've known her for a while, and when I found out about Coffee for Cops, I wanted to tell her that, hey, we should partner up because I have some programs that'll help your clients there. I know there's tons of coffee, but there's a lot of situations where the policemen, they're still renting or they don't think they can afford a home. And so we built these programs to help firefighters, any first responders. And so, we teamed up with Melissa, we, sponsored some charity events, some golf events, and it's a great.
We've got a flyer from your loan program we're going to put up on the screen so people can take a look at this. Tell us how it works.
So, it starts off, the program itself is designed to, help first responders with cash to close. Like a lot of times you're going to have people that are renting that technically are paying for what a mortgage payment would be. They just don't think that they can get into the house because they don't have money saved up. So this program is kind of like a down payment assistance. We chip in to kind of cut the closing costs. And it just goes to show some of these people that, you don't have to rent. If you want to own, you can. And I'm not saying that it's for everybody, but there's a lot of people out there that just, the message isn't clear that you can own for what you're paying for rent. And that's the kind of message I want to help get out there. And we would go to like police stations, and we would do it to educators too. And with COVID, you can't really just walk in these places anymore and kind of hand out.
Give some advice to the people watching if they wanted to start a program in their own company. How does it begin? I mean, do you poll the employees to find out what they're passionate about, or how would you suggest, Melissa?
Well, I mean, for like what we're doing, like when we've gone into, I never intended when I started the nonprofit to tie any linked business to it. But the more I got to know these police officers and the more they got to know me, they knew that I was a realtor, and they started asking me questions and asking financing questions. So it just, became kind of, let's help these guys. There has to be a better way. So hence we developed the program. And then in addition to that, I created a give back also, to where any law enforcement or first responder, I give them a percentage of my commission straight back to them at closing. So a lot of times that helps them buy an appliance, that, offsets closing costs, things like that. So just to show, I really care about these people, you know, and I want to help make it happen. They do a lot for us every day that people take for granted. You know, I couldn't do their job.
Sure.
You
sure.
know, so if there's some way that I can give back to make their lives or their day a little bit easier, then I'm thrilled to do it.
Eric, how about you? What would you suggest for the employer who's thinking, I should probably be
Yeah,
more philanthropic?
I think that it's case by case. Whatever company you work with, Supreme Lending is very generous when it comes to charity and social causes, and so it didn't take much for my boss. You know, we're based in Dallas, so Corey Martilla is my branch manager or my region manager, and I brought Melissa in, and you just kind of, you know, we put something together and presented it to him, and you know, he didn't bat an eye. So he basically said, what do you need to make this work, and let's just see how it goes, because there's not enough programs out there that are like this, and it's definitely not marketed because no one really knows about it.
Yes.
You know, and that's why we're here trying to help get the word out.
Well, as long as we have you both on the show, let's talk about the housing market, because I can't remember in my lifetime when the supply of homes has been so lean. Melissa, let's start with you. Why is that?
Yeah, we are definitely in a massive inventory shortage in DFW right now. It's nationwide, but it's hitting pretty hard here because there's so many companies relocating here, which is great for the economy, but it can make it the super competitive market when you're trying to buy a house. The normal busy time where most people move is spring and summer, especially people who have kids. But January 1 rolls around and people are hitting it hard, you know. And so the thing that's important to get across is, you know, if a home is nice and it is priced right, you got to jump on it. You snooze, you lose.
You were telling me a story about one home that you saw recently where 20 offers?
Yeah, 24 offers within first day on market.
Amazing.
You know, and so, I mean, that's great for the person selling, you know, it makes it really competitive when you buy, but you have to be in the know, and it's my job as a realtor to, you know, help people make the better decision, educate them on the market, educate them on the area that they want to live in, because buying a home is the biggest investment you're going to make. So you don't want to be uncertain, but at the same time, you got to be quick to react if you want to get what you want.
Sure. And Eric?
Yeah, on my side, you know, I can see it both ways. So the rates are very low, so people are wanting to buy, and it creates mass. It's very competitive. On another side of it, though, you know, COVID, there's a lot of people being furloughed, and they need to get out of the house quick. And so if you do that and you sell the home, you need the buyer to be able to get in the house quick. So you need a lender that can move quickly. Yep. And so, you know, with us, we take pride in closing quickly. We have, you know, our operations team is on site.
Sure.
You know, so closing quick does play a factor. Sometimes people will say, hey, I can wait, and maybe the seller can't. So your offer might be more competitive if it closes faster.
Well, I've got you. Let's talk about refinancing, because, gosh, I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like there are a lot of people who were refinancing even 3 years ago that are saying, let me do it again.
Right. Or even less than a year.
Yeah.
I mean, the rates, if you just Google the history of prime rate, this is the lowest it's ever been, and we may never see it this low again. And so people are borrowing more because it's so cheap. They don't, when they refinance, they can do a cash out loan, and usually the rate would go up if you take equity out, but not in this case. I mean, you can get cash out and lower your rate at the same time.
Yeah.
And so.
And DFW, I mean, it doesn't get any hotter than this market, does it?
No.
People are moving here from all over.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it because companies are moving here. You know, they're moving headquarters here. So, I mean, you see it just as much.
Yeah, they're moving in droves. I've been blessed to be able to help several different organizations with their relocation needs. So,
Yeah.
and it's important, you know, when someone's not familiar with the area, you know, a lot of people want to rent for
Sure.
a year until they get a better feel of the community.
Well, I always hate to use the word panic, but would you call it panic buying right now?
I would say probably in the next few months there's definitely going to be a frenzy, because I see it starting now, and then, you know, it's kind of, once you hear about it, more people want to get in, but it's kind of almost a perfect storm in the
Sure.
sense, because like Eric said, rates are so low, so, you know, it's almost foolish to not take advantage of the market
Yes.
and buy while rates are so low, you know.
Absolutely.
But at the same point, if people are on the fence about selling their house and they're a move-up buyer or a downsize, whatever, and your house is nice, it will be gone fast. So take advantage and sell it while it's hot.
Yes.
And you'll be able to find a place to go, because that's a lot of fear that people are like, well, if I sell, where do I go?
Yes.
You know?
Well, you guys have both been amazing. We're gonna have to have you both back soon.
Yeah.
We're gonna put the websites up so people can get in touch. We'll start with you, Eric. There it is. I'm sorry. There we go. Eric's website is eriktomlinson.supremelending.com, and then Melissa's. Let's put you back up there, Melissa. There we go. MelissaMovesDFW.com. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks
Hey,
for having us.
Thanks for having
That's
us.
great.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You bet. And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.